Hey, Gems. How are you doing? This is Life with Marlene, your Florida vlogger, and welcome to today's podcast discussion. Um, Today, I wanted to chat with you guys. How was your Thursday? I have been meaning to go live all day. I found myself trying to go live at this morning, early morning, and that didn't work out. And then I tried again around 12, and that didn't work out. And now here we are, and this one is working out. So I hope you guys are great. Hope you, all of my gems are feeling amazing. I hope you're in a peaceful space today on this Thursday. And I wanted to chit chat with you guys about people who are never satisfied. And I think I titled this, Some People You Can Never Please. Do you know people like this? Delvin says, bless up, don't try to please no one. Yes. And the more so I'm learning that, I'm still a work in progress, as is everybody, but I feel like that is my one thing that I always was trying my best when it came to relatives and the one that you're in a relationship with. You can extend yourself and give everything to them. Hey, Misty. Hey, love baby. How are you doing? Welcome in, everybody. You can extend yourself completely, right? You can give everything. You can give 100% of yourself, and still they will open up their mouth and say, you didn't do enough, right? They'll open up their mouth and say, you could have done this and you could have done that, and you weren't good with this and you weren't good with that. So, honestly, it's teaching me a lesson to stop putting other people in front of me. That's something that I don't have to learn ever again. I learned a valuable lesson because many times we find ourselves doing things for people that wouldn't do the same for us. Yes, blessings to everybody in the chat. I hope you guys are all amazing on this Thursday. But I found myself in this predicament of feeling some type of way because after you think about it for a while, how much you've done for so many people, you've like completely sacrificed. You've sacrificed by financially sacrificing, you've sacrificed by giving so much of yourself, the emotional impact, you've sacrificed mentally, you sacrificed spiritually, you know, even you sacrifice your goals in your life. You put your life on hold, right? For a few individuals, namely romantic relationship. You put your life on hold to help them, to please them, to make them happy. And guess what? At the end of all of those sacrifices, you still will not get a thank you. Actually, they're going to reject you, manipulate you, take everything you have, and leave you as a shell of a woman or a man. It's facts, because that's what I'm dealing with right now. You can give everything that you have to individuals, and when they get done taking everything they wanted to take out of you, now that you can't offer them anything anymore, now they just move on to the next person. It's so disgusting. Hey, Life with Tasharia, how are you doing? Misty says, yes, true. You can't overextend yourself, and nothing is never enough. Yeah, it's annoying. It's frustrating, and also at the same time, it's a lesson. I always say that everything that happens in this life, the first time it happens to you, it's shame on them because they were the ones that did wrong to you. But if you let somebody come back and do the same thing to you twice, Now it's shame on you, because we should never let people do wrong to us twice. Yeah, you guys heard me. That's a lesson today. Don't let people play you. Don't let people play in your face, play with your heart, play with your money, play with your spiritual strength and stability. But a lot of people will compromise that because there's a lot of individuals and they are just mentally unwell. They are not okay, everybody. They are not okay. And we don't like to talk about it, that there is a lot of people who are have mental illness, whether it's diagnosed or undiagnosed. But I believe that there's a lot of individuals who are undiagnosed, that they have some sort of mental illness, and they will not get help because they are not a humble person. You know, those individuals, nothing is wrong with me. I don't need help. I'm okay. And they are not okay. Delvin says, I don't take people serious no more. I know how people are. Yes. And that is the thing, that we go through situations in our life. And I believe that it's the people that you relax with, it's the people you let down your guard with, and the ones that you believe that you can trust are the ones that they do they do you the nastiest, the dirtiest, the most disrespectful. You would never expect those things, but I guess we really should. You got to keep yourself on game and pay attention to energy, to actions, and not the words. Because a lot of people, they talk a good talk, boy. They really know how to sweet talk. They know how to do a lot of love bombing. They know how to do lots of manipulation. That's their tactics in order to get what they want. And after they get what they want, then they dump you and move on to the next person. It's so sickening, but it's life, right? But we really have to grow from it, That's one thing about me, is that I'm not going to sit and stop my life. I am going to be accountable for me and what I allowed for people to do. And you have to be accountable. You got to take fault. Be responsible for what you allowed. Be responsible for who you choose to be friends with. You have to be responsible of who you choose to be in a relationship with. And you also have to be responsible for how you let people treat you. Because there is a cutoff thing. Your cutoff game has to be real. And I find that people who are strangers are better to you than your own relatives. It's like your own blood will just take that knife and just dig it in, and they don't care. And they're have their hand out while they're stabbing you in the back. It's crazy. I was like, these people are not mentally stable. Truly. How can you do wrong to people and then come back around and expect for them to be there for you, listen to, and support you when you just did them dirty? Like, go away. Don't come back around here no more. Like, why are you trying to call me? Don't try to call me. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't check on me. I don't want nothing to do with you. It's just, people are weirdos. But in everything, I believe everything in this life is a lesson. There's always something we can grow from. And that's why I believe in personal growth and development, that we can't let other people ruin our lives. We can't let other people stop us from growing and doing the best that we can. And that's why this is a lesson for everybody. Some people you can never please. No matter how much you do for them, no matter how much you try, no matter how much you sacrifice, how much you support them, because we ultimately have to get underneath that and ask ourselves, what is the reason why they have this relationship with us? Is it to take? Is it to use? Now, we don't want to admit those things because that's the hard part. We don't want to admit that these individuals never loved us, was just using us for selfish means, have never cared, but we did not want to believe it. And I have been there. And like I said, I'm a work in progress. I'm growing. I'm definitely not perfect. But at the same time, I'm not going to hold back from giving you guys a coaching session when it comes to myself as well. And I learned a really hard lesson that I can't please other people. That's a very hard lesson because we'll think we're helping people. We think that people love us. We'll think that they're supportive. And then when you either can't do it because you, for whatever reason, maybe you financially can't afford it, or maybe you cannot be there to do whatever it is because maybe you have to work or you're going through something. I always say you find out who people are when you tell them no. It's when you really find out who people are. Do they have an attitude now? Do they stop coming around you? Or they start talking about you behind your back, sharing your personal and private business? It's very eye-opening when you find out who people really are. You know, what do they say? When people show you who they are, believe them and believe them the first time. Yeah, I'm on that sort of time now. Lesson learned, check and check and check, because you can't please them. So what does that mean? That means that you have to learn to please yourself. You have to learn to keep yourself focused. And that can be hard. Yes, Life with Tasharia, yes. That is so hard for us to stay focused when there's so much distractions in this life. It's so much people who are distracting and are very rude and disrespectful. And the thing about it is, just because a person is rude and disrespectful, it doesn't mean that we have to keep taking it. Just because a person apologizes, it does not mean that that person is sorry. And I had to learn that life lesson, that a person telling me they're sorry doesn't mean they actually are. People put on a pony show. They put on, to try to bait you, because that's just what they're doing. They're baiting you to believe their lies. They're telling you what you want to hear, so you'll keep them around and you'll keep doing whatever it is that you're doing for them. Isn't it sad that there are individuals out there that are just around for their benefit, not to help you? They're not around because they care about you. They're not around because they love you. I honestly don't know how people can sleep at night being that sort of person. So evil, wicked, sinister, and so disrespectful, but they exist. And we're the ones that have to keep our eyes open and say, you know what? This person does not care about me. This person is using me, and I don't have to take it. I don't have to stick around. So don't, everybody. Don't, gems. If you know someone is taking advantage of you, leave. And I mean that on many levels, because sometimes it's to the point where you've taken so much from them that you even forget who you are. I know that this message is for somebody. Have you ever done so much for people that you quote unquote love, and you even have forgotten about yourself? You've neglected yourself, talking about you're helping a spouse, you're helping a sibling or a relative, right? And you're the one that gets off track from your goals and your purpose, you actually neglect your personal, your personal well-being. Like your mental health will be in the toilet dealing with them because they're dysfunctional and they're very selfish. All they think about is themselves and what they want, and they never will ever ask you, what can I do to help you? Is there anything I can do to help you? No. All they want to do is ask you, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? It's always about them and their agenda. They have no agenda to help you and to be supportive and understanding of you and asking you what you actually need. Do you actually need some support? Can I provide that for you? Mm-mm. They don't think about those things. It's honestly just about them. But I believe everything in this life is a lesson, and we have to learn. We have to learn. We have to grow, and then stop making the same choices. That's what this life is all about. Uh, Learning from the situation, growing from it, and then giving ourselves that permission to start over again. You know, there's not everybody who, after has been taken advantage of or used and abused emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, bounces back. Some people just are never the same again because that sort of hurt, it's deep wounds. You can never get over some things for some people. But for me, it's for me to open up my eyes and to make better decisions next time. When I see that someone is always asking for my help, but they never ask me for mine, now it's up to me to say, this person is just around for their personal benefit, not for mine. Some people will never learn. Some people will never care or support and be there for us. But then that's up to us to realize it and stop being their fool, because that's exactly what we will be. We will be their fool if we keep saying yes. And I know that I'm not the only one, but for a long time, I didn't know about the word no. Not that I didn't know no existed, but I used to always feel guilty to say no to people that I loved, because I don't know why. I think it's because of many years of being always told that you do everything for your family, you do everything for the ones that you love. And I am that sort of person that I believe that. And it's just a bait show. It's just to get you hooked. They say they love you. They say those nice things, pretend that they care, when if you really pay attention and you write down a list, like, what does this person do for me? What is the reason why they're in my life? That's why I say therapy did so good for me. I can't tell you guys how good therapy shifted my whole mindset. It made me see my life not through rose-colored glasses, not through the lens of other people, but what it really is in real life, not just what I think it should be or what other people tell me it should be. This is the reality. People who care about you will support you. They will show up for you. They will do things for you. They will be supportive and encouraging, not draining. When you have individuals that come around you and all they ever do is have their hand out, or the only time they talk to you is when they can remember every 3 to 4 months, or two times a year, that's not a relationship. That's a person who's an associate. So it's up to us, for us to identify these things, and then to say, this is not a person who loves me. This is a person who I'm a relationship of convenience. And When I tell you guys that I shed some tears behind that, I cried. It really hurt my feelings when you're the good person, when you're the supporter, but you're never supported. Yeah, that hurts. I don't know how many of my gems have ever been through anything like that, but me, when I was like, wait a minute, when you really take out a pen and paper and start writing down what is the benefits of this relationship. And to be honest with you, I couldn't find any. Because when you start writing it down, like, okay, I do this, 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 and everything involved that it was me, or you can put yourself in this situation too. It's I am doing this for them. I, and it's never them. So that is one that I had to just start pulling myself away from those individuals, taking step backs, giving them some space, because I believe that we make ourselves way too accessible to people in our lives. You give them access to your ideas, access to your personal thoughts, things that you're going through. That's a personal and private thing. Everybody cannot get in on what's going on with you. That's for people that you can trust, people who have shown that they support you, not just anybody. So we have to stop giving ourselves away, giving access to ourselves, and also we have to stop giving away money. I know this is a very touchy subject for so many people, but it's the truth. We have to stop giving people money. And for me, I think because that's how I grew up and that was how I saw my parents show love. I didn't have parents that were communicators. I didn't have parents that were affectionate. And that's what my parents did to show me love. They would buy me a gift, they would do something for me, take me out to eat. That was their way of showing love to me. So I, in turn, when I grew up, that's the same thing that I did to other people. How I started to show love to other people was giving them gifts. And when I went through therapy, I learned that if you're doing that all the time, that's not showing love, that's enabling. Because buying somebody a gift, that's not all the time. That's not like every time you go out to eat, they're expecting for you to pay for them. Or every time, for something, they're always expecting for you to foot all the bills. That's not a good relationship. That's not a healthy relationship. There has to be compromise and them also doing things and them, planning things and wanting to spend time with you without it being complaining or argumentative, all of that stuff. So I honestly feel that many of us don't even know what love really means. I believe that people say that they love you, but they have no idea what the words I love you actually means. And that's why I always say that there are people that you can never please. You're never going to please them. You're never going to make them happy. And you know why? Because they don't love themselves, first of all. If a person does not love themselves, they are not capable of loving you. And then another level on top of that is people can only do it if they want to. And there's many people that we know of that make claims, right? They'll open up their mouth and tell you they love you. They claim to love you, but they actually don't. A person can't give you what they don't possess. So it's also a manipulation tactic. And we don't want to believe that, but it's a lot of manipulation when it comes to relatives and friends and many people that we know of. That's just who people are. But at the end of it, it's really up to us to make some changes. And while it hurts, it really does hurt when people don't show up for you. But ultimately, like when you think about the changes, when I think about the changes that I've made, it makes me so happy. Hi, Lara. How are you doing? When I think about the changes that I've made in my life, it makes me so happy to know that I don't have to give my money away, that I can say no to people and mean it, that I can do things for myself, that I don't need to wait for a friend or a relative or somebody in a relationship to go out and do things. I can do things by myself and feel good, feel confident, and not feel weird or strange that I have to be around people to be happy, that I can be happy doing things on my own. And it's nothing like it, like loving yourself. I think that's was like a really important lesson that I learned from that some people you can never make happy, and that you have to personally learn how to make your own self happy. It's inner satisfaction. And when I started working on my relationship with myself, it gave me a new perspective on how I deal with other people. Because if you think about yourself and filling up your cup, putting on your own oxygen mask, doing things that you need to do, walking in silence and minding your business and loving yourself, I feel like I have so much work to do from not doing those things for so many years. We will neglect ourselves helping people, or allegedly, right? We'll be in such a bad space in our life and don't understand the reason why is because we weren't taking care of ourselves. We were not saying no. We were letting people use us and run over us like a doormat, and we're not doormats. We're human beings and we have feelings. And if you feel some type of way about the way people are treating you, you are the one that has to cut it off. You are the one that has to say no and mean it. And I have to tell you guys that I feel so good now that I don't deal with the people making me feel guilty because I choose myself. You will not guilt me into doing things for you. You will not make me feel ashamed. I love when that I have standards now. I have a relationship with myself. I don't need other people to fill up me because I'm not empty anymore. Making your own self whole, having a friendship with yourself, knowing how to spend time with yourself and enjoying your own company. I'm telling you, it has been the most self-fulfilling thing that has ever happened to me in my entire life. Before, I used to be like, I needed to be in a relationship. I needed to have friends. I needed to be with my relatives. I needed all of these people so that I could feel like I could do something. And I didn't understand that I was feeling that I needed other people's validation for me to feel like I was enough. And in some type of way, that's what it is. If you ever feel like you can't go out by yourself, you can't have a vacation, or you can't go to a dinner, or you can't just do anything, whatever it is, by yourself, if you always feel like I need this person or that person to do something, then it means that you got to do some healing of yourself. Yeah. Yes. Yes, Lara, it's the truth. Lara says, why? Thank you for all the knowledge, because if it wasn't for you, who would be like that? Yes, some people are so selfish, and we have to learn from our mistakes. I think that's what's really important, is learning from your mistake, not beating yourself up, because many times we will be our own worst critic, and we'll beat up ourselves for so long saying, I should have done this, why didn't I see that, shoulda, woulda, coulda. And you got to forgive yourself for that, ladies and gentlemen. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself when you didn't see things. Forgive yourself when you didn't speak up for yourself. Forgive yourself when you saw the red flags and you ignored them. And that's very important for us to forgive ourselves. And I do that on a regular basis when I didn't do what I needed to do. I didn't step up like I needed to do. And I forgive myself. And then I say to myself, what could I have done better? And then I do better because that's what counts. That's what counts. And that is what is important. What can we do in this moment to make our lives better? And that is what we can do. And I wish you all the best in your journey of healing and self-love and self-respect. But one thing that we have to get from today's conversation is people are not going to be on board with what we say, our boundaries. We're the ones that have to enforce it. We're the ones that have to say no. We're the ones that have to stop telling people our business. People can't play us if we don't let ourselves get played. If you don't stop showing up for people, stop telling them your business, stop letting yourself be accessible, cut yourself off from them. And then I found that when I cut off the people who are manipulators and users and disrespectful and very ungrateful, my peace came in. My joy came in. I was able to actually what? Have money for myself. I was actually in a good space mentally. So much things happen that's good for us. We gain so much by taking care of ourselves. We get so much by speaking up for ourselves and setting those boundaries and enforcing them. Hey, Charlene, how are you doing? I have learned so much by setting those boundaries and meaning it, not just saying what I don't like, but cutting people off. You know, my block game has been real. My block game has been on point because I mean what I say and I say what I mean, you know? Charlene says, yes, we have to put us first so we can live a healthy life. And that's on all aspects. For our overall well being, you got to take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually, in everything. You got to take care of yourself. And if you have people in your life that do not respect your boundaries, they're very selfish. Now the question is, what are you going to do about that? Because you can't change them, but you can change that. I'm not going to show up. I'm not going to tell them my business. I'm not going to let myself be accessible. Block them. Sometimes you got to literally block them on your phone so that they cannot have access to you anymore. And other times you have to block out their energy by stop going around them. You know, there's certain individuals that I don't go to certain events or because I know those individuals will be there and I know they're going to say or do something that is going to disturb my peace. And my peace is too valuable. You know, I've heard people say, oh, you're running from them. No, I'm not running from them. I'm protecting my peace. I don't go places where people will make me feel uncomfortable or I feel like I always have to, you know, like bring down my joy. Like you can't be happy around them because they're unhappy. And that is something that I don't allow anymore. I'm not going to stop being happy. I'm not going to stop laughing because that's who I am today. And when you remove yourself from toxic people, judgmental people, people who are users, people who only think about themselves, you'll find that you turn into a different person. I didn't even recognize who I was when I removed myself from a few people in my life. I found that I started having goals, like I wanted to do things with my life, things that I never thought to do because I freed myself of the time. Like I had time because I wasn't around them and listening to their garbage and disrespect and drama. You're too busy having fun and laughing and living your life and having peace of mind and doing whatever you want to with your money because you work hard for it and not having to splurge on everybody else. Like, it's not my responsibility to take care of other grown people. Like, what are we even doing here? So that was a thing that I had to learn. So I wanted to share it with you guys. You know, I'm healing, I'm happy, I'm growing, I'm more positive, and peace is my portion because I'm making the choice. I make the choice now to choose me. I make the choice to use my gifts. I make the choice to take care of myself. And I'm not going to compromise those things. I'm not going to allow selfish people to take advantage of me, make me feel guilty. I love myself too much. And I wish you all the same sort of energy, the same sort of vibration, and empowerment, because it is empowering when you say, I'm not going to allow anybody, if they're negative, I'll just leave because I'm not going to take their negativity and their attitudes and their disrespect and their drama and always complaining about everything in their life. You know, those people just are draining. And if I find that people are always subtracting from me and they're never adding anything to my life, those are the people I have to leave them alone. I have no choice. I cannot be around people who are always taking. They'll take from you mentally. They'll take from you financially. They'll take from you spiritually. They'll take from you physically because of all of the worry. You'll be worried about them that you can't even sleep. So that's the thing that I can't deal with you anymore because you're affecting me. So if you have people in your life and they're affecting you in a negative way, you got to save yourself. And you got to put on your own oxygen mask and you have to protect yourself. Why? Because you're enough and because this is your life and it's time for you to take your power back. And let me tell you something, whenever you start to take your power back, empower yourself, say no and mean it, cut off toxicity, and you only want to talk about positive things and you don't want to hear the negatives, trust and believe people are going to start hating you and saying, you think you're better than me now. If it hasn't happened, it's coming. Trust and believe. But it's okay because you already know what's coming. And just prepare for it. People will say you're jealous of them and you think you're better now and all of these. Yeah, let them talk. Yeah. Go ahead. Say whatever you want to about me. I'm happy now. Be proud of yourself because you have standards now. And if you don't set the standard, if you don't set the tone, people will treat you any way they want to treat you. You have to set the standard. You have to say no and mean it. You have to choose yourself first. You got to love on yourself. You got to stop answering the phone just because it rings. Okay? And people will get so mad at you. I called you. So what? Just because you called me, it doesn't mean I have to answer it. I'm the one paying the bill over here. This is my phone last time I checked. So you got to check people. You don't have to explain what you were doing, why you didn't pick up the phone. Like, don't be scared of people. Put people in their place. Don't let people control you and treat you like a little puppet that you have to jump and run and move to suit them and to please them. No. We're not doing that. I'm not jumping and running and no. Especially, I'm not jumping and running and moving for people who would not jump and run and move for you. No. Yes. Yes, that part, Charlene, that part. Oh man, it makes me laugh because I got so many people that are in their feelings since I have made changes in my life in the past 2 to 3 years. I'm really not the same person that I was 2 years ago. I have literally changed. I am a new person. um, People will say that people can't change, but I know that I'm proof of that because I was the person that I was always very docile, very non confrontational because I didn't want to hurt people's feelings. But at the same time, if people don't care about hurting your feelings, you need to start choosing yourself. They don't care about being rude. They don't care about taking all your money. They don't care about disrespecting you, taking advantage of you, taking all your time. They don't care about that. But you need to start caring about yourself, okay? Thank you so much, Charlene. I really appreciate it. I'm going to bring this to an end. Thank you guys so much for your support. And I just want to say to all my Gems family, I care about you guys so much. I want us to all be happy in our own way because my happiness is not going to be your happiness. But I want you to think, like, really think about your life and pay attention to how you feel. If you feel like you're really stressed out, you got to ask yourself, why am I stressed out? You got to ask yourself, why don't I have money? Like, where are the holes? Am I giving my money away? Am I wasting money on people? Like, what am I doing over here? You got to think about yourself and your goals and not get distracted by what other people want you to do with your life, and think about what do you want to do with your life. And if you want to be happy, you got to do things to make yourself happy and not do the things that other people want you to do because their happiness may not be yours. Your goals are not theirs. You got to think about your goals, your the things that you like, your peace of mind, your mental health, because nobody is going to choose you until you choose yourself. I've seen far too many people get put in the ground. They're not here now because they didn't say no, because they didn't speak up for themselves, because they didn't cut off people. You know, you being a people pleaser will put you in the ground. Being a people pleaser will put you in bankruptcy, ruin your credit, will let you be the person doing everything, running around like a chicken with your head cut off, doing all of these things for people while they're just sitting around chilling. You're giving people money and they have no financial skills, like no financial literacy. They don't even know what to do with money. They're over here with buying all of these name brand clothes and doing this, and they're on vacation while you're breaking your back to do all of these things, and they have a relaxed life. Make it make sense. Why am I helping you and you're chilling? No. I was like, okay, Marlene, you need to get yourself together. So that is one of the things that we need to work on. Lyra says, I want to be happy, but thank you for being honest and true. It's true. Happiness is better than being miserable and sad. And we're not going to do that because every day we wake up, we have a choice to make. And will you choose to make yourself happy? See, it's not inside who you're in a relationship with. It's not inside your relatives. It's not inside your financial situation. It's inside of you. And the narrative, the self talk, what you tell yourself. Do I tell myself I am choosing happiness? I am choosing peace? And when you make those choices, no matter what other people do, you block them out because it's your life. And when it's your life, you put on your oxygen mask and you take care of yourself. Okay, guys, all for now. I will definitely tap in on tomorrow, I can't believe it. Tomorrow's Friday. It's pre-weekend. What are you guys going to do this weekend? We'll talk about that on tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Thursday, and I'll tap in tomorrow. This is Life with Marlene, your Florida vlogger, motivational speaker, and life coach. Thank you for tuning in. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe. Join my channel membership. It starts at 99 cents. Yeah, and all those things. I appreciate you guys. And make sure you check out my mods who are in blue that have amazing channels like Chill Will Crew, Lara Boss Killer. He's not in here, but he's very faithful. Realist one here. Also Nate the Great Podcast. Sirius S. A Virgo from Georgia. Boss Life Online. Um, Global Empire, ENT Media. Um, who else did I miss? Oh, Dave's Adventures. I did say Boss Life Online. Miss Nexie. Who else did I miss? There's one more person I'm missing. Oh, Leticia's Third Eye Point of View. And there's one more person that I can't remember, so please forgive me, one of my channel members, but I do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.